genetic disease known as cystic fibrosis. It fills my lungs with a thick, sticky, infected mucus that I can't cough out easily. It has destroyed my pancreas and requires 38 pills a day just to digest food. In addition, it has caused a rare form of diabetes that I now manage up to 5 times a day with insulin injections. When my veins could no longer support a lifetime of IVs, I decided to surgically get a port implanted into my chest, which last year I had accessed for over 100 days undergoing IV antibiotics. Fall 2016. This is the 3rd time. In 20 minutes, my IV pole beeps suddenly, alerting me that there is air in the lines of the tubes connected to my port. Glance at the clock. 2:32 a.m. You would think that hospitals are a place to rest, relax, sleep in. They're not. Because during the day, there's a host of people walking into and out of your room giving you medication. And at night, there's a different host of people walking into and out of your room to test how those medications are responding. In the past 12 hours, I've had approximately 40 pills, 5 injections, 2 blood draws, 12 nebulization treatments, and a continuous drip of IV antibiotics, all in an attempt to open my airways long enough to breathe. Because if I don't destroy this infection, it will destroy all of my future opportunities. And the thing is I know I could page the nurse and let her deal with my finicky IV pole, but we'd probably spend the next 5 hours chatting about everything that's happened in the 3 months since I've seen her last. So I decided to get out of my own hospital bed and I walk over to my IVs, and I silence that mind-numbingly loud beep. And I gently flick the air bubbles up from the tube back to the top of the bag where they belong. And despite the glow from the machine, the room is pretty dark. And there's an eerie silence at 2:30 a.m. in the hospital, except for the random code blues that come on over the mic, letting you know that a patient somewhere's cheeks are no longer a rosy pink. Glance around, letting that sink in. And I really relish in my thankfulness to such vitality. Still, after being told for 28 years that next year might not happen. Look at my bed where I have my blanket from home, my lucky teddy bear to keep me company. My work laptop is charging in the corner next to a stack of my published books that the doctors asked me to autograph. And on the shelf are 24 roses that the love of my life dropped off yesterday, with the words, "All you need to do while you're here, baby, is outlive them." And I realized it doesn't matter. If you love your life and the people and things you choose to fill it with, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You will quit capitalizing on only the good stuff, because the bad stuff is still a reminder that there is air in your lungs and a rosy pink color to your cheeks. So with that thought, I decided to go for a walk. And I love the empty peacefulness of a hospital hallway at 3 a.m. because it gives you that chance to reflect, to meditate, to think about where you're at and where you want to go in life. And I decided to put on a sweater because it also is important to me to hide the port access. A couple reasons. It always baffles security why a patient's walking around at 3 a.m. and I don't want to deal with that. And then also, it's important as a reflection to me to remind myself that I will be coming home. Set my phone alarm to go off at 3:30 a.m. So I'm back on my next round of IVs. And as I set that alarm, there I am, staring at my hand. That was once covered in blood. And I think back to that day. See, I was 25 at the time, and I was working 12-hour days for a Boston-based biotech and pharmaceutical recruitment firm. And I was spending more time that year in the hospital than I could in the apartment that I could barely afford. I was doing things like putting clean, healthy eating on the back burner. I wasn't exercising very much, because I was thinking to myself, all I have to do is make enough sales calls that then I can focus on things. But that night, as I order something through the cheeseburger, I'm a big fan of McDonald's, so I'm at the drive-thru and I'm ordering through the cheeseburger, and instead of hitting another client to call, I saved my 10 calls for the last commute, I decided to call a friend. Her name's Beth. See, Beth's one of the oldest people I've ever known who had cystic fibrosis. She was 40 at the time. She also was an entrepreneur. She owned her own law firm. She was happily married. I don't know why I called her, but it was just an instinctual thing. And I pick up the phone, we exchange a few minutes of small talk, and as we start talking, I feel it. That all too familiar tickle in my lungs. And I start uncontrollably coughing. Cut my hand to my mouth to prevent the phlegm from hitting the steering wheel. When I look down, there it is, covered in blood. My first thought, I need to get to the ER. My second thought was about how I had meetings the next day and, well, my health will have to wait. And that's when I hear her, Klyn, what is so important about working for these guys that you're willing to risk your own health to build their dreams? You don't get it, I respond. I mean, she was right, but whatever. And I go to explain to her that, it's not even about that. I have to be doing this. It's my career. It's who I am as a person. Don't they understand? And I'm going on and on about every excuse that I had of why I was working for them. But the thing is, dreams don't work unless you do. And I was so busy working for them that I didn't realize I was in a downward spiral where the ultimate cost was going to be in the ground. I would be buried soon if I kept up on this. And I hear her saying, Klyn, there's a distinction you need to make between passion and stress. So when you work this hard for something you don't like doing, it's called stress. When you work this hard for something you love, that's called passion. One of these will kill you. I know, Beth, I get it. But the thing is the timing's just not right. This is my last-ditch attempt to try to change her mind. All I need is a few more paychecks. All I need to do is call a few more clients, figure out what jobs they have open, then find a few more candidates, put those candidates in front of said client, land that commission check, and after I build this up a few more times, I promise I'll be okay. Don't you have any dreams, she asks. Well, of course I do. One day I want to start a company, I want to write a book, I want to find a man to settle down with. These are great things, but the timing's just not right. I'll figure it out eventually. That's when she tells me, people always wait. You see, it's fall, and then we wait to get through the holidays. And then after the holidays, of course, it's spring break, so let's hold off on our dreams then. Before we know it, we're in summer, we're taking a vacation. Before we know it, another year's passed. We've celebrated a birthday. We've spent more time of our life doing the things that we don't like doing in order to keep on doing more things that we don't like doing. I was pissed, because I realized she was right. So I chucked my cheeseburger in my to-go bag, and I hear her parting words. If you don't figure this out, your next call will be from my office on how we need to draft your will. I love you, but you need to love yourself. And she hung up on me. Admitting she's right, I had to go to the ER myself. And after an initial consultation of called PFT test, pulmonary function test, I learned that my lung function was at a dangerously low 38%. And I now have a few options. I need to go on IV antibiotics. Again, that's the 5th time this year. So hopefully I'm not developing something called antibiotic resistance, which means that I'm probably not going to be able to continuously fight off these infections. Or I need to think about the route of getting a lung transplant. Both of which means I will never see my 30th birthday. So I asked the nurse to wheel me out to my car, and from my car, I grab my laptop, go back to the ER, put my oxygen mask on, and I write a resignation letter that night to 2 CEOs that to this day have still not responded. I got busy. Only a few $100s to my name, But I dreamed of the company I wanted to create. A company where short-term massive action was built into the core values, where a sense of urgency was the key to success, where everybody had each other's back, and it would revolve around my hospitalizations. I thought about the book I wanted to write. I wanted to interview famous entrepreneurs and get inside their heads. And then I made the list of what I wanted in a man. And P.S., all men, us ladies, do have this list. And I realized it doesn't matter if you're letting an oxygen mask breathe for you or you're facing a major executive decision. To get out of a rut, you must be flexible on your methods, but clear on your vision. I realized should probably get going back to my room. Because statistically, more deaths occur in hospitals than in your own home. Statistically, these deaths occur between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. Statistically, my family needs to be planning my funeral. But there's a power right now in every breath. Because I've chosen to be too busy living to die. And it doesn't matter if you're walking the halls of a hospital at 3 a.m. or you're walking into a boardroom to defy the odds, you're wondering if you can survive the night or the next market crash. There is a way to turn every setback into a comeback. So at the end of it all, it's only our interpretation of what is going on that is actually going on. So in the midst of my thoughts, doctors and nurses suddenly rush past me in a frenzied run. The light in the hallways auto-adjusts to accommodate, and the speakers boom through the silence. Code blue, attention staff on 2 West. There is a code blue in room 211. So I close my eyes. I offer a prayer of gratitude that tonight I survived. I think about who just passed in room 211, and I hope they were able to truly appreciate the moments before their cheeks lost their color. And I hope they realize it's so much better to live a short life full of things you love doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter how many breaths we take. It's all about the moments we create that take our breath away.